Chasing the dragon on a Chinese 2-post lift. Reinforced. A 11,000 pound 2-post lift. Doing a little reinforcement. Added on 2 more slides each side. Take a little bit of the, let's make it run a little smoother in the column. A little extra reinforcement. Gusset plate in there. On these gussets, they're all cut on the edges to a 45-degree angle. And it's 1/2-inch plate to 5/8 plate and asymmetric arms. I temporarily put the pins back in, make sure nothing moves out of line. Trying to do most of the welding on this back, preheating, and to grind off all the powder coat. Trying to preheat to at least 280 degrees. This little thing. I'm using 035 wire, 75/25. Yeah. And the gases. I know most of this is was spray arc, but I'm just adding some reinforcement plates, so I think it'll be fine. Using a 251 Millermatic MIG. I'm getting good penetration. I did some tests with this 1/2-inch plate, chamfered and that, and getting decent penetration. Did a little grinding, gouging on that 5/8 plate on the inside with a grinder. Concrete, rebar, mesh, fiber mesh. 5,000 PSI or 4,500 PSI. 7-bag. And then we're putting some gussets in these lift arms. 1/4 inch to 5/8. 1/4 inch square tubing. Some 1/2-inch plate on these asymmetric arms. Back arms are that 4.5-inch square tube with 3/8 support strap. So adding some 1/4 inch box framing to that. Taking the wiggle out of these things. Put a spacer in their side of it. Before it would slap back and forth. Depends how far it sticks out here, but fucking inch to inch and a half. So that's it. 11,000 pound, 5.5 ton, 2-post K-tool, getting modified, customized. This slab is 15 feet by 15 feet with a 6.5 foot by 15 foot, 8-inch thick concrete rebar mesh. 3/8, 5 foot of 3/8 I-beam embedded in the concrete. It's been honeycombed and rods going through it. So we welded the columns to that first once we got the laser set up. K-tool, 2-post lift, gusset reinforcement, and that's a 5.5 ton 2-post lift. Match paint, if anybody wants to know. It's almost perfect. Is the Certifieing. Gloss apple red. The rear arm, first and second stage. There's 3 stages to this. Reinforcement, all done. Repainted. Gussets. With added 5-inch base plates by 24. And 8-inch thick concrete with 7.5-inch embedded 3/4 inch threaded rods with epoxy. Welded to a 3/8 I-beam. It's 6 foot long, embedded in the concrete. In case I got to weld a hook or something on there to drag something in the shop, or who knows? Parted power off it. Straighten piece of a frame or something. Okay, that's that. Okay, I added on this cable balancer, I added an extra tab here because this is just a bent hook that it mounts to. So I welded in an extra tab. So it's grabbed at least on 2 corners, 2 sides. The bottom of this carriage, there's another 3/8 plate similar to this top plate, but it's only welded in on one side, and 1.5-inch long welds in between here and here. So what I did was took a cutoff saw down below here, right through this carriage in the center, 2.5 inches long. I 45'd it, created a keyway in the center, of this 3/8 plate that the ram cylinder pushes on. Modifications. K-tool 2-post lift. Two-post lift cables. Blaster industrial strength silicone lube. Soak them in this shit for a few days. Modified. Reinforced carriages, reinforced arms with gussets. Larger base plate. 3/4 inch, 8-inch, 3/4 inch threaded rods, 8 inches deep. Bedded in 7-bag mixed concrete, 8-inch thick. Mesh, fiber mesh. 1/2-inch rebar grid pattern on a 15 by 15 inch slab inside the garage. Relocated the pump bracket so I can get a pass through over this wall, through this against the wall. I don't know what I got there. 24 inches. Oh, and there's the little girl Justice. Finally burnt out. Taking a nap. Old man Buck. He naps on and off all day long.